A wonderful good day, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. The tides are slightly turning already again. People are trying to adapt to the current meta, which is pretty planeswalker heavy, pretty slow in comparison to former times. Of course, in general, it's not very slow, but so people are actually packing things like Cheerios. Eldrazi, colorless Eldrazi has actually popped up again because it's very good, or it's benefiting from both Karn and Blast Zone. And so I want to have a little bit more redundancy here in the main board and packed in Angrath's Rampage instead of Rise-Fall again, which is also pretty good against all the Planeswalkers that Blue-White is playing, of course. On the other hand, we have to have them come down first, which sucks a little, but that's fine as well. Also, some kind advice: never play Grixis if you're tired or hungover or anything else. Then just pick up Blue-White. Otherwise, you're gonna be punished. Also, here on my table, I'm finding some Ulamog's Nullifiers, which is also a pretty interesting card that I wanted to build around for quite some time. Maybe I'll do that at some point. Let's see. Today also the first real, well, it's not a great hand, of course, but Blast Zone might give us the leverage here that we need. And if it's a slow matchup, then we're fine with all the lands here anyway, so we'll see. Bloodsail, if we're getting Thoughtseize here, that would be horrendous. Could of course be a Blood Moon deck here, but since we have two basic lands in hand already, and Golden Rebel Masters, alright, Death Shadow. So it actually is. Well, that's very interesting. I'm gonna take the Thought Scour. Blast Zone is somewhat good. Against the Death Shadow, of course. He's fetching, so Fatal Push might be dead for quite some time, and he's also probably not going to be able to play the Death Shadow this turn. Therefore, if he draws a dead card here, meaning no discard spell, which would be good for us. Alright. So I think we're going to try it out. We're only going to hit for one this turn, but that's going to be fine. Cannot push our Golden Rebel Master. Of course, on the other hand, he will be able to play the Death Shadow next turn, but then we also have the Lightning Bolts. There is a Bloodsail. That, of course, is unfortunate. So there's one card in his hand that we don't know about. The best play here is probably still to just bolt it. Right? Because with Blast Zone we can basically hit anything. I mean, you would need to have a Street Wraith into something here. I was lucky. Alright. Obviously, with this point of damage, we're giving him the ability to have Stubborn Denial be of relevance. On the other hand, though, this time I'm going to play Blast Zone. On the other hand, though, Steam would have done the same deal, so I'm fine with that. So he's definitely waiting for 2 turns something here. Oh, he's just flooded with Death Shadows and just can't play them. Which will be awkward, I guess. We're no longer going for core advantage here. Again, he can't kill the Golden Rail Master, so he probably has to go after that Goblin. This one's gone. Dismember. Alright. Yeah, he must have had something. Right. Alright, bottom top. We're gonna tag for 1 here. Alright, he's pushing it. I'm gonna pass the turn. Street Wraith. Alright. So what we're gonna do here is, so I guess this means he actually has a couple of at least 1 or 2 Death Shadows in hand. I probably want to terminate, keep up terminate, so Angrith Rampage is gonna go after him. We also have a Logic Knot coming up, so Rampage not. Yeah, I'm gonna do this right now. Because now that's really weird. Alright, any Snapcaster Mage would be great. Any Colgan's command would be lethal. Anything would be lethal, to be entirely honest. Yeah, this one I'm not gonna counter for obvious reasons. Of course, he has more in hands. We're not that dumb. But unless he has like 3 or 4 counter spells as well. So I bet there's at least 1 or 2 stranded Thoughtseize in hand as well. Let's say 1 Thoughtseize. Alright, there's a Torpid, which sounds pretty good. Alright. So Blast Zone, right? Don't want to have this. Probably want to have that. Chase is gonna go. This one in. We're gonna cut land. Play 4 spell bombs. And then we could also go with, like, we need to generate value at some point. So I'm thinking let's try it. Scorpion God, of course, not good enough against, actually, Scorpion God not good enough against Death Shadow most of the time, but very good against everything else. So all the lightning bolts here, of course, aren't great. On the other hand, though, our opponent is probably also playing Jace Bryn's Prodigy. And to be entirely honest, like in the current meta, not because of us. I mean, we're French deck and we're evenly positioned against Death Shadow at the most, but Death Shadow is so bad against blue-white control. That's already. I'm not gonna yet play the Torpid here. I want to have double red, just in case we're getting stripped off of our Terminate. Should probably not, like, Snapcaster Mage is gonna go here for the most part. Yep. So great here would be if we were gonna draw a Nil Spellbomb. Third Lightning Bolt is not what the doctor ordered. Maybe we can burn it out at some point. But he's already going to be cautious here, I would assume. Maybe not. So he's going down to 10. Oh, Servants. Alright. I could put him to 3. And I'm actually not against it. We're just facing a Snapcaster Mage. And if we draw in the fourth Lightning Bolt, of course that's just lethal. Also still have Torpid, so I'm gonna go Bolt. Have a look real quick. There's only one fatal push. Kozilek's return though is a little bit annoying, not gonna lie. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take the fatal push, right? Then if he goes and taps for Death Shadow, we're gonna hit him. No matter the risk. Of course, Snapcaster Mage should also be lethal, because he cannot tap out, or can't tap anything. All this. I mean, this isn't lethal, exactly. So I think our play here is escalate 2 modes. We're ignoring the Snapcaster Mage. We're gonna take a look. He's gonna play the Death Shadow, of course, next turn. K command won't be lethal, Bolt won't be lethal, so we have to build up on that Torpid. But I also don't want him to be able to fetch anymore. So escalate 2 modes. Or do we just go with target opponent reveals his hand, but he does have counter spells for days as soon as the Death Shadow is down. I feel like I want to get rid of not Snapcaster Mage as well. But if we get rid of Kozilek's return, that doesn't make a difference anyway. How would that help him though? If we don't drain him here, he does still have the ability to fetch. Go down to 2. No. And then he only has like 2 outs, right? Serum Visions could theoretically help him, but of course it's Kozilek's return here that we want to get rid of. So do you have it? We're gonna see. Snapcaster Mage or bust. Thing is, no, a dismember. Fuck you. That is lucky. That is darn lucky. Oh my goodness. What a lucka. And now we're just dead. Unless we draw a lightning bolt. No, even then. No, if we draw a lightning bolt. or Last Zone. But there's also no other play for us. Like if we wait, he's gonna play the Death Shadow first, of course. Snap. Oh, he knows. Oh no. Lucky, 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 lucky. That was undeserved. So now we're on the play. I think I want to have Grixis again. Cannot believe it. Alright, so our most important card here is the Spell Bomb, therefore I'm just gonna play it out. That is weird. Our opponent starting with an island is actually really weird. Might be a Thought Scour, of course, and if that were to be the case, then I'm gonna go top bottom because I don't want him to Thought Scour us. What he still does. I guess that's fine. Since we have another spell bomb here, I think I'm gonna be pretty proactive with it. Unless he's gonna Thought Seize us here. Lol. That is ballsy hand. Why would you keep a one-lander? Alright. So I mean, our opponent obviously has problems here. And I think we're just gonna go and keep up nimble. Stop any potential fetch land. Crack it. Stubborn Denial, Snapcaster Mage. Alright. So of course this does more than just one thing. He definitely does have a Gormag Angler in hand. Pretty certain about that one. Alright, 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 alright. So I'm gonna go with our own Spellbomb here. I want to get rid of his graveyard again before he can do anything. And yes, thank you. think it's time for our Rebel Master here. Of course, he does have the Spell Bomb in order to piss us off in terms of fail push. Also does have a Mishra's Bulbul though. Yeah, dismember. Sure. But that's still ways off doing anything relevant here. Also, Blast Zone, of course, protects us a little. No, I'm gonna let this resolve. Let's see. We could bolt him. Yeah, I think we're gonna bolt. Nimble. And then we have close to lethal, right? He cannot fetch shock anymore. He cannot shock anymore. What's going on? What's going on, friend? What's going on? Well, you gotta be punished if you keep one land with an island. And I'm speaking from experience there. Cannot complain, even on the draw with such an hand. And we're playing 23 lands. He's playing like 5 lands less. Of course, he has a little bit more draw through the Street Wraith, but generally speaking, still. Oh man, I love this deck so much. Like whenever I play blue-white, I mean it's of course a powerful and good cool deck and stuff, but after playing 2 rounds, the play patterns are already so similar. So boring. Oh yeah, by the way, I was watching a little bit of the modern mocks yesterday. I think they played like 4 rounds. It's always interesting to see. Of course, you only qualify for the mocks through playing on Modo and achieving certain, points. But many of the players there qualify through like standard or limited or whatever. And so you don't necessarily see them overachieving with modern or modern decks. And so what you also see through at Mythic Championships and stuff, most of the people who are not familiar with modern, like everyday business, and then go to a big tournament, are always going to go with like the safe choices: Tron, Phoenix, blue-white control. So that's why humans hardly see any innovation during these events. And the thing is, I mean, the Moto meta most of the time is already like 2 turns ahead of them of what you're being displayed there. But then people are actually, people who are not always playing or watching on Moto are actually watching the stream, and I think I want to have the tar pit here, just because of the blue, not because it's a tar pit. So they start, like yesterday, for instance, after the mocks, people are already starting to buy into Phoenixes again, because Phoenix performed pretty well. But that's not the current state of the meta, right? So that's sometimes really funny. what I'm saying is, like, from a economic theory standpoint, you don't want to be buying after the big shot events, like premier level events, but most of the time you just want to go with breakout performances at GPs because they're mostly. What are we playing against here? 8 rack? Might be 8 rack. Has to go after the Golden Realm Master. And now we might have a problem here. On a mulligan, on the play, yeah, we're playing against 8 rack. This is horrible. This is not good. I'm going to discard the Lightning Bolt here. I want to have the lands because of the Tar Pit. Goblin Rattle Master would have been amazing here. Well, all of our cards would have been amazing. Inquisition, Inquisition. Shithole. Don't see a necessity here to go with the Swamp. Want to have a blue swords anyway. So that's kind of our card that we can get rid of. Oh, come on. Alright, let's already have a look here into the sideboard. Our opponent can't take out the removal spell because he's seen already these two here. But I probably still want to go with Kalitas. Oh, Blast Zone. Definitely something I would want to have. Because if it's 10 rag or 8 rag or whatever they call themselves right now, Blast Zone on 1 should be quite good. On 3 as well, of course. So we definitely want to go with a Counter Squall. We probably need to raise at some point. It's either Dovriel, or Liliana. Since I'm not too scared of the actual payoff cards here. Alright, Snaring Bridge. So maybe he wants us to go up with the Blast Zone, but I'm not going to do that until we really need to get rid of the bridge. And we're super unlucky here when it comes to our lands. I mean, we also still have Kolaghan's Command, etc. So if it's necessary, we definitely can do stuff. Finally, an Inquisition that doesn't hit. Alright. Go and get me with your 2 damage a turn. Blue. Close. Close. So close. So here, what are we going to do? Probably the best thing possible here for us to do is actually go with the Snapcaster Mage and Serum Visions. Building board presence. Oh my goodness, this is so bad. Nimble. How good is Nimble here? Don't see him doing a whole lot. Just want to have a blue source. For the most part. Blue source or Kolaghan's Command. Those are the 2 things I want to have. Not an insignificant chance there. Come on. Ah, oh, damn it. Well, at least we can get rid of the ensnaring bridge now. Oh my goodness. So well played. Alright. So assuming that he's actually setting up Liliana there to some degree. He definitely has a removal spell in hand, that's why I didn't go with. Alright, there's Dovriel, whatever. So we need to discard a card. So the thing is, if we draw, yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this one. So are we getting, no, we're not being damaged here. So I want to go with target player sacrifice a planeswalker. Could of course also go with Blast Zone, but that would. No, we're probably going to do that over 2 turns. Target player sacrifice a planeswalker, yeah. And see how he waited to play that dude until he had a swamp available. Definitely just a removal spell in hand there. So Lightning Bolt still for the Mutavault here, although it would have been the more cost-efficient play. I think by now we're going to start getting rid of a Cryptic here. I'm probably going to draw the next card there, being a blue source. But I do want to get rid of this Mutavault. And then we're regulating the rest through Blast Zone. See, I knew it. I knew it. Well, that's still alright. As soon as we're getting rid of that a Raven's Crime. Right, I guess we're gonna fetch for 3 here. And counter draw. Now we're getting all the islands here that we don't want to have anymore. Well, 1 more additional island is alright because of the Snapcaster, but sure. We're gonna get rid of our mountain, I guess. So our opponent's also left with our discard in a snaring bridge. Honestly, I'm not asking for much here, right? Just want to have 1 Colorgon's command, or a Snapcaster Mage, or a Cryptic command. How good are you? How good are you, really? Alright, maybe we're popping that Blast Zone quite soon. But I would like... Oh, there's a rack. Of course, we're going to take 1 for a bit. Because I like, from my feeling here, Blast Zone is keeping something in his hand. Either it's 1 drops or it's 3 drops. There's definitely additional value to be had just by maintaining it on the board, on the battlefield. And I cannot believe like we're such a card advantage engine. I cannot believe that we're actually not drawing anything here. There's a logic knot. Logic knot's not too bad, I guess. I'm gonna play an island just so we can pop the blast zone and still have logic knot up. Alright, there's Dovriel. This says creatures can't attack in general, so not only players. We could put it up to 3, of course. Kill these 2. We're gonna discard 1 thing. I think that's fine. Could of course also, like, if we're really sneaky here, we could also just counter the ability here. Of course, that doesn't save us a whole lot. But we can't attack right now anyway, so we're gonna cycle. No, we're not. Sorry. That would have been a mistake. So far ahead here with my head that I actually didn't even consider that anymore. Yeah, there's no benefit in not doing it now. And I should have kept up here a different land just because of the Mutavolt. Although I think he's probably gonna play, yeah, Liliana. Alright. So Creeping Tar Pit, we probably can never activate one more than 1 a turn. So this time around I'm gonna go with the correct land combination. If we were able to flip the Jace, which I do not believe, but if we were able to, Smallpox would be horrendous. Devastating. Yep. I'm gonna get... So the next card that we draw, we have to sacrifice a land. The next card that we draw is an island. Probably gonna get rid of the Jace here, but just because I don't think that it's gonna survive, like whatsoever. Now there's a fail push. He does have the removal in hand, and he would not get rid of. Come on, attack me with that mutable, mate. Come on, man. Yes. Although we're taking 2 damage then, so of course also not super great. We could cycle the Nimble in order to counter the rack. We could still do that next turn. There's a Colligan's command, finally, man. Alright, so we want to have all of these. Top. Waste not. So we're going to return a Goblin Rebel Master here. I think that's the only card that actually return and destroy artifact. And we're going to wait one more turn, not only to get rid of the Waste Knot there, but also because that's more efficient for us with the Serum Visions. And maybe we draw a discard spell or something. Alright. Alright, I want to have both of these. We're going to race now. We're going to race now. Come on, don't have a removal spell. Oh, come on. Yeah. Shit. It is quite annoying, not gonna lie. Probably the Raven's Crime, yeah. So let's see. If we give him mana, that's probably just the worst thing that we can possibly do. Snapcaster Mage, we have a Lightning Bolt coming up. So I think I'm going to discard the Nimble here. Because if he has the mana to actually... Alright. Yeah, now we're deploying everything. Now land, kill a zombie, have Slapcaster Mage up. Of course that triggers fail push. But then we can't discard anything anymore, right? So we're pretty safe from that Waste Knot right now. Now we're attacking with a whole bunch, and next turn should be lethal. Yes. My goodness. Terminate's gonna go. Oops, whoops. We probably want to have Neil spell bombs. And no discard spells here. Angrith's Rampage is gonna stay. Jace is probably gonna go because that just makes us very vulnerable to Smallpox, which all of our other cards does not. And then there's Kalitas, which we could take, or we go with Scorpion God, which of course is a little bit of an overkill, but it's our strongest card. We have a little bit of life gain here. The thing is, Kalitas, of course, with a life gain is great, but it's super weak against Liliana and Smallpox if we don't have another creature out, and we have to play that pretty passively. Is that a word? Ow. Shit. So where's my drink? So he's probably giving us the play, right? No, he took the play. Alright, so if he wants to be on the play, we're gonna keep him. We have a lot of redundancy. Of course, Counter Squall right now is just the only card that we can actually play. And except for Lightning Bolt, maybe. So what do we do if he does have a Smallpox there? Probably still gonna go with this Demons here. The upside of being able to play Logic Knot next turn is just too high. Right, so this doesn't look like Smallpox to me. Sure. So that's probably going to be the Snapcaster, I would assume. Of course, Logic Knot's not super great against all these 1-mana discard spells. But that's also why I probably won't counter any of those. That I'm going to counter though. Sure, that empties our graveyard, which is not great, but it's still better than. Still gonna play very cautious here with our life total. Instead of just Fat Shocking and Serum Visions. Well, at least we have enough black now as well. Shrieking Affliction, sure. So, I mean, since we don't necessarily need black anymore. On the other hand, though, no, we don't have any double black in our. Who? Do we want to do this? Shrieking Affliction. I think we need to get down that Blood Crypt anyway. And if he does not have this member here, this also incentivizes me to do that. I think I'm just going to go with the Rebel Master. This Fatal Push currently isn't good. We have 2 good spells in our hand and 1 good spell coming up. And maybe we can raise him. Also, this of course makes Davriel and Liliana significantly worse. Nonetheless, he's going to play Davriel. I'm going to go with the Logic Knot, I think. Yeah. So we're taking 5 damage. No, 5 damage, yes. Good thing about it is, though, 2, taking that dude, yes, and the rest is gonna attack that dude, right? Yep. So try to raise that motherfucker. Now he's like Bontu's Last Reckoning and we just lose. We only have one card in hand. Nothing to be gained, nothing to be lost. Okay. Good job. Goblin Rebel Masters, you little sneaky bits. And that's really, like, of course it's not the best card for a control deck to play, but the Rebel Master really rebels. You can race so fast. Blue-eyed, my old friend. Like, honestly, I mean, we're a control deck, right? And yeah, you can keep that hand against a control deck, but what do you expect to play against with such an hand? That's just insane. Kind of, oh my goodness, Moto is bugged here. Kind of felt it in my bones that we were gonna play against Blue-White here. So Alan's gone, Colnade's gone. We do have Watery Grave. Alright. Would love to see our opponent use a fetch Teferi. So the next card that he's going to play is going to be Hallowed Fountain. If he did have a removal spell, of course he would have played it. I guess Blast Zone's going to tick up to being 2. Was also not the time yet to utilize the Kolaghan's command there. So let's see. Maybe, just maybe, he doesn't want to have the Jace flipped. Which would incentivize him to activate the Blast Zone here. Which is pretty good. My goodness. We're not the luckiest when it comes to land drops. Oh my goodness, he also had a path. Didn't want pathos. Interesting. So I guess we're gonna go with the Snapcaster Mage or against it. Path is annoying, of course, but so is Mana League. So Snap's gonna go. Alright, so here it's our turn. I don't want him to play. This has to be a Steam Dance. I don't want him to play a Planeswalker here the next turn. And I also don't want to fight over that Jace again. That makes it a little different. Do not understand why we can't draw a fucking Serum Visions or anything of that sort. It does have 2 Teferis. He has to counter it. And we're doing this because, oh, he's Snapcaster Mage. Now, that's interesting again. No, not really. Opponent drawing pretty well here. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. Do we want to play out 1, 2, 3? We could play the Jace here just for the sake of it. So he's not gonna be able to protect the Teferi. He has 2 Teferis, Mana Leak, and Path. Either he's gonna run his Colonnade into okay. Oh, come on. You lucka. Oh my goodness. Alright, how are we gonna play this? Of course we need to get rid of that's 4, but that's not 5. 3. I don't know how many good draws he had here in a row, but digging out of it. Sometimes you gotta be a little lucky, but that's fine. We can still get rid of that Teferi, of course, but he does have another Teferi in hand, which means that hoping that he does not have, in fact, another counterspell. Castle Mage, of course, is also pretty alright. Guess I'm gonna get rid of the Terminate. He's not gonna attack us with that Colonnade anyway. Because he wants to play the other Teferi. And if he does... Put a card on the bottom, alright. No, he's actually attacking us with a Colonnade. That is freaking interesting. That is interesting. Did not see that coming. I do not believe what I like. 30. We're at 38 cards in our deck, and we have used some additional draw spells. Just can't get there. So we could go with Golden Realm Master, which would probably, let's see. If he goes Jace 5, no, doesn't feel safe yet. Yeah, I was like, you do not have another. Like, he probably has a veto here. So 3. 1, 2, 3. Lol. Lasso, welcome. I do not want to overextend into this board here. I mean, if he doesn't have counter spells in hand and no creatures, then he has to have something else. Let's see if he blocks. All right. All right. Of course, that strips us off of a cryptic command. Yeah, but I do believe it's actually worth it. Cannot believe how many non-land cards we're drawing here. All right. So let's see. We could go. No, that's not an option. So we're signaling here we do not have a cheap removal spell. Just want to have blue. Yep, that's fine. So we could test things out here. We could Do we want to use the Nimble here? He's got 5 lands left. I think we do. We have to be a little bit cautious with our time here. Yeah, go ahead. All right. Now we're gonna start being a little more aggressive here. That's a good draw for us. Oops. This one, of course. So if he does have another veto, I want him to use it before blocks. All right. Sure. That's what I was playing around here. And now we're gonna hit with the Rebel Masters. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Now we're just drawing that. Our deck is so harsh to us. It really is. Alright, hosts. So now any lightning bolt is lethal, our torpedo is lethal. Basically anything in our deck is lethal. Alright, got it. Alright. So Terminate actually was quite good. Rebel Master I actually don't want to have on the draw here. So the question is, like, we're gonna bring in these 3 dudes. Therefore, Terminate's gonna go, Counter Squall is gonna come in. Yeah, I think this. He could be bringing in Baneslayer Angel or something to that extent, but I don't actually think that's good sideboarding. Of course, he's counting on me taking all my removal spells, but like you still need to get your Baneslayer Angel around my counter spells, you know. So until recently, this was a pretty good hand against control, blue-white control, I mean. but right now it's actually not that good anymore because worst thing that can happen is we tap out for Jace and our opponent goes into his turn, taps, and brings down a Teferi. Land. That's also not too good. So we could be playing the Jace here, but we know he's playing both Logic Knot and also Mana League. So that could go even worse than just going with Jace being bounced. Come on, one land. That's not going according to plan. I can tell you that much. I'm just gonna get rid of a lightning bolt here. Of course, Fulminator Mage also is a little bit over his zenith here. Good. Finally. Problem is, well, no. Do whatever you want. There's the fairy. And he did have, or he does have, a spell snare. Also pretty interesting. And the Jace. So I guess we need to take the fairy here, actually. Otherwise, he's gonna go fairy with Logic Knot up. Alright. There's not a whole lot we can do here, right? Jace is gonna come down this way or that way. We're stuck to a certain degree. Look at our hand. So it does still have the Logic Knots. And I assume he wants to bounce the Jace in case that happens. So I think we're gonna go with the Fulminator. Well, what I really want to find out here is if he actually Teferi as well. So the only real out that I see here that we still have is if he actually goes and ultimates. No, we're just, whoops. I'm not quick to concede, but the last game could be going pretty long, and therefore I think I want to do it, keep it short here. I think I want to have Rebel Master over that Fulminator Mage. And everything else is kind of alright. Okay. One too many of those Jaces. Well, let's see. This is always the same. But apparently it doesn't have removal otherwise, I guess. Would have done it already. We're playing 23 land, like even more than before. Land, thank you. And I'm actually not gonna flip the Jace this turn. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna flip it this turn because I don't want him to have an efficient turn here in case he does have a path in hand. Just drew one. Come on! We're in click and Snapcaster territory, of course. Although Jace keeps that Snapcaster under control pretty neatly. Usually I don't like to be on the back foot against blue-white, and just by... Oh my goodness. We are not lucky today. I can tell you that much. We're gonna try it. It's probably not gonna work out, but on the plus side, we then have a turn where we can play Goblin Rebel Master and Jace. And so I think that's still alright. Also, of course, Snapcaster Mage just kills her. Oh, and Teferi as well. That is great. Oh, we just kill her this way. Discarding a Snapcaster Mage, you must have an insane hand. This is just redonkulous. Don't understand why we do not draw any lands basically all of the time. Alright, we're gonna go this one first. Yeah. So can we actually do something here? So I think we have Bolt for the small Teferi in order to actually get a hold of our counterspell here. Yeah, Blast Zone, putting it on 3. The thing is, though, hopefully he forgets about the Tension Sphere, because, yeah, if he does that, and there's like no other permanent here that is really doing anything for us. Come on, man. Just kill the Tension Sphere with your Blast Zone. Alright. Sure. So, did he play another land? Yeah, played an island. Has 5 mana up. So now I'm curious. So he does that, but the Tension Sphere is also going to go. So we do get a token. Rebel Master doesn't attack, of course. Put a card on the bottom, so nothing that he really wants, as far as we know. So Teferi, we need to act here. Thing is, he doesn't only need 2 more counter spells, like 1 to counter the Teferi. Come on, no Dispel. No Dispel. No! Alright, Path. Yeah, let's go with another island. So do we finally get that fucking Teferi off the darn battlefield? Alright. So at least we leveled it to a certain degree. And we've already gotten rid of countless so top Servigens. Probably also top, but on the other hand, I mean, I would like to protect the Rebel Master. If possible. This is just the colonnade, right? I think I'm not gonna let him hit me. It's like, if you want to race, then deal with the other Rebel Master first. Or snap. Probably not. Alright, there's a Thoughtseize coming up. We can either increase our clock to 5, or we can just counter one Celestial Colonnade activation. I want it to be tapped out the next turn as well. Did he draw the card? No, put a card on the bottom again. Because the yeah, there we go. Supreme Verdict, probably not a card that we want to see. We have 2 more looks, and we could draw any number of things. Now, even a Snapcaster Mage would be good. Cryptic. Oh man, it's so close. So insanely close. He's pathing one of our goblins. So Spell Snare thing is, Bolt is still Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this resolve. Going with the red source here. Then the Spell Snare. Then we're gonna go return and draw a card. And if we draw a Snapcaster Mage now, I think we win. Last one is a non-starter though. Alright, so he doesn't have a Snapcaster Mage, otherwise he would have played it there. So we're not playing around a Snapcaster. Come on, one good card, mate. Come on, mate. Cryptic. Cryptic isn't bad. Did he play a land yet? This is really, really, really important. So we play, yeah, he played an island already in his turn. So we're just gonna go counter and return. Counter and return. And then we don't die. He has exactly this turn to find an answer, otherwise he's just dead. And we still have significant amount of outs. Wait. So I think I'm gonna go put it on 2 because of a Snapcaster Mage. Come on, man. Yes! Yes, guys! Oh! What a game. What a great game. Whew! But that, like this time, like our opponent, of course, drew pretty well in between, but we also, like, we got heat here the last couple of turns, not the Puludella. What would have been our next? Yes, the Snapcaster Mage as well, so we would have easily killed him here. That was amazing. That's why I love the control mirrors. Although I have to say, with Dovin's Veto in the mix, it's become a little more dull. It's not as Teferi as well, because those two cards are basically I win buttons, and you can't really play around them anymore. And the reason I was waiting with that Nimble, I don't know if I finished the sentence. The first case was that if he draws another Colonnade, then he might be able to activate them in a turn. Whereas when I wait for him to activate them later, then I can actually still counter it with a Nimble because he tapped the mana. Well, we got lucky there, not gonna lie. Skill, but also luck. Oops. All right, back. Sorry. Not a great hand. Keep. Are we playing against Izzet Phoenix? There's literally no other deck that's starting with Scalding Tarn, right? In the current meta, I mean. I hate Izzet Phoenix with all of my heart, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's Izzet Phoenix. Could also be, I don't know. Pyroman's Ascension. Actually, I'm not gonna show him anything. Well, three Snapcasters. Oh my god. Yeah, so basically, any spell in his deck is already putting on counters on that Pyroman's Ascension. Great. So I don't know if we don't draw a Blast Zone here, then I don't think there's anything we can draw, really. I also do have, excuse me, do have such a retarded card. Like every card in this deck is just retarded. Not every card, but you get it. Three copies a turn. Yeah, I think we can just concede here. We're not gonna win this. Oh my god. So Blood Moon is a thing that we have to be prepared for. But for the most part, like we could go with Kalitas, but that will stretch our mana base thin. And being on the play here, I actually don't want to go for the absolute late game here. So counter scroll I want to have. Lightning Bolt's probably also a card that I want to have. And that's a real issue here. Because Pyromancer Ascension by itself is already a card that you can hardly handle. You need to bring in so much hate for the graveyard and for the Ascension itself. So I think Counter Squall is going to go to the bottom here. I actually want to have to the bottom, to the top. Amazing plays by our opponent. Chaining that Serum Visions into that Sleight of Hand into that Opt. Might even have a Faithless Looting here. No, just a Thought Scour. Alright then. So, well. Yeah, this is actually a problem. We do not have Counter Scroll now. So in case the really big flyer is coming around, we still have Snap. Cool. Well played, opponent. It's just retarded. It's just retarded. So now we need to use our main phase here, you know, to bounce that thing and hope that he doesn't have enough 1-drops in hand to activate it again, I guess. Or maybe to make a stupid play and not play Pyromancer Ascension again. But you never know when you gotta go. Alright, all eyes on you, Goblin Realm Master. We're trusting you again. Never lost with you on the battlefield. Don't make it my first. Can you not just play Phoenix or something? Also, we're all blast zones. Maybe we need Echoing Truth. What is happening? Oh, strong play. Ah, so good. So good. My goodness. Pro. Ah, there we go. Didn't see that one coming. Strong. Really strong. You know what? Should make all the copies go after Rebel Master. We have Snap, Counter Squall. We also have Snap Agris Wrath, of course. That would have probably been the better move here. I just thought about racing. Now we're missing out on, actually not missing out on any damage because, of course. So maybe our opponent doesn't find another lightning bolt. If he does, we're pretty dead. Oh, Noxious Revival for Manamorphose and the copy for Lightning Bolt. It's ingenious. Alright. Let's jump into the last round here. Hope that we don't face either Dredge or Phoenix. Hand's alright. Oh my god. Blue-white again. Oh man. And we're stuck on mana again. By now it's somewhat of a running gag here. And our opponent keeps the 2-lander. Oh man, I'm just like, what the fuck's going on here? So, Snap or Narset, I think. Narset is not that big of a deal in case we were able to you know what? We're putting everything onto that land drop in the next turn. We're definitely going to draw. All right. Close. Really close. So Narsid. Oh man, and he's just drawing lands. At least we can blank that Dovin's Veto for a little. Yeah, one turn too late, my friends. One turn too late. Now we obviously cannot play the Goblin Rebel Master. So Narsid is annoying, but not super bad for us here. She's ticking down. The fairy's coming up next turn. Yeah, I think have it. Alt. All right. So we know all of the cards in his hand, right? Yeah. One, two, three, four, five, six. Maybe you should have done that differently. So I'm not going to play the Rebel Master because he could always be drawing into I'm actually inclined to counter Bounce here because he has so many Dovin's Vetos. But then, of course, if he does have a Jace, that sucks quite tremendously as well. Okay, another land. Probably gonna be hit by Snapcaster here. Snap Path. Get rid of both of our things. Beto as a backup option. Want to 3 for 5. Yeah, he's waiting until he has the wind veto as well. Up and running. And therefore, I'm gonna go return, draw. We're gonna be hit by veto, but don't really mind at this point. He still didn't play out that one. It's like 1 or 2 unknown cards. Yep. The real issue here is, though, so Golden Rebel Master, of course, is pretty alright. But I think it's not the correct thing here. Alright, let's think this through. He's gonna go play Teferi in his turn. The wind's veto back up. We counter it with our Cryptic. We get countered. He's tapped out. At the end of turn. So if he has a Cryptic command in hand, we're fucked here playing a Jace, of course. Otherwise, we could potentially kill him next turn. We bolt him in his turn. If he has Cryptic command here, it's over, but can't play around everything. So he's at 9. Still has a veto. And of course, Teferi. Or we're just gonna go with Supreme Verdict. Okay. Interesting. Still has these two. Don't want to have the Color command right now. Eight. Do we get to live another day here? Field of Ruin. That is unfortunate because we have a lightning bolt coming up and he knows about it. Probably still blue. Oh, come on. For real? Alright then. So this play is interesting because I think he does not have the ability to counter anything here, which means what happens if we counter draw? If he taps out for 5, then any Snapcaster Mage or Path to Exile is good to beat us. Which one's the better line here? Because any Snapcaster Mage would be lethal off the top. We add 1 extra draw. Snapcaster Mage is lethal. Bolt is lethal. So we have 5 outs. Oh man. I'm actually not sure. But I also don't want him to see the nimble in hand. Alright, he had his Snapcaster Mage. It's the right play. Very good. And that also means that, yeah, he cannot play Teferi right now. So, still Snapcaster Mage and Lightning Bolt are all lethal. Kolgan's command would also be pretty good. And there we go. Boom! Chakalaka. Boom, 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 chakalaka. That was splendid, as they say. So let's think about it again. Goblin Rebel Master. It's been pretty good in this matchup, I'm not gonna lie. So, I think Goblin Realm Master is going to stay, but probably as a one-off. Should be alright, right? Yeah. I don't want to draw multiples this game. And he's playing at least 2 Snapcaster Mages, probably 3. pretty awkward hand, but better than anything that we're usually keeping on the draw. So now could okay. Yeah, if this is Teferi, we really need to draw a black source or a mountain here. Guys, lol. Well, we have the Angrath's Wrath already. Yeah, we might be dead until we can actually leverage the Angrath's Rampage there. Not drawing this very lucky here. So let's see. I don't believe that our Cryptic Command is gonna do anything here. Disdainful Stroke. Such a bad sideboard card. Alright. So one's gonna go on the play here. Rebel Master, so coming in again. If he wants to raise, let's raise. Also, we have Blast Zone, so we even have him out land-wise. Spell Snare. Just not. Just old opt. Alright, so any land. Come on, deck. You can do it. Please. This is unreal. Unreal. I'm gonna tell you. Just what the fuck's going on here? Why are we never drawing our third land? We're drawing more than any of our opponents. And that's a Geist again. Dude. This is just unreal. Unreal. Alright then. We're going to start things off with a Rebel Master here. We should have come down last turn already and then it would have all been good. But no. Our deck's always putting the extra hard mode on for us. Yeah, we're going to block. If he does have another guys, I don't mind. Norse it, sure. Golden Rebel Master. So is oh shit. Forgot about it. That was a punt. One that I usually don't do, truth be told. But anyhow. This is Baneslay Angel, 100%. Another Norse set. Alright. What a strange play. How is that so important to him on this board state? Okay. Alright, now I'm playing really sloppy. I forgot to take up the Jace. It's pretty bad. So I mean, he must have a counterspell. Okay, that is weird. Honestly, do not know what's going on here. What he might have boarded. I think. Do I want to get rid of that one? No. All right. So now I'm gonna. Am I gonna counter that? Let's see what he does here when we hit him. Alright, then I'm going to counter it. Because then I only want to have a not the red souls here. Actually, all that is gonna use Field of Ruin here. She isn't inclined to do. Something's really off here. Why would he be floating white? So there's no 3-drop in hand yet, otherwise he would have killed that one already some time ago, I would assume. Do you play land? Yeah, played an island, 4 cards in hand. He's probably gonna destroy our blast zone right now, and we're not gonna counter it. Lol. I mean, the Siemens is not too important to me, generally speaking. We could try to get like a K commander around that will probably just be countered. There's no need for us to act here. Yeah, we could have floated one land, of course, end of turn. That's interesting. That is interesting indeed. He's going for the K command instead of any other possibilities. We're taking the 3, go down to 8. All right. Let's have a look then, shall we? Question is, with what? Doesn't really matter. Sure. I think we're going to try it here. 3, 4, 5. Oh, thought I clicked 5 already. Well, that is not a whole lot going on there. For that very reason, I'm going to kill that thing. Now. Don't know what he's trying to do here. Sure. So let's see. Was that something? Oh, come on. One whiff. Just one whiff. Already preparing for the nimble. It's quite funny. Alright. So it does still have planes in hand. Spell Snare. Important to know about that one because of the Angrath Rampage. Plane's gone. This one's probably gonna get countered. So how are we gonna deal with this colonnade in the midterm? So we need another land in order to flash back something. Return. That's not a land. So it's really close here, but I actually don't think that, like, if he does have anything, then we probably can't win here. Fairy. But now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activation. Yeah, then he's one short. All right, that's game. Sad, otherwise we would have won. If we untap here, we have Snap Bolt, Kolaghan's Command dead. Well, still a good league. Was quite fun. Alright, that's my last game for the weekend. Have a good weekend, guys, and see you around.